All right, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Smiling and Grinding podcast. Today we are smiling and grinding with Jordan Crookshanks of JC Lawn and Landscape. Jordan, appreciate you being here and welcome.
Pleasure is all mine. It's nice to see you.
Absolutely. First of all, before we get rocking and rolling, if you could just give the people what they want, give them your Let's Go company name, and then Let's Go any ways to get a hold of you, email, text, call, any social you have. Let's get that out there so the people can get a hold of you.
Okay. So I'm Jordan Crookshanks with JC Lawn and Landscape, located here in Medina. Contact phone numbers 330-635-4498. You could also check us out on Facebook, Jordan Crookshanks or JC Lawn and Landscape. Instagram also. And you could also send an email or Facebook Messenger, Jordan Crookshanks at yahoo.com.
All right. The man has ways to contact them. There we are. If you can't, if they don't have something, they can get a hold of you another way. So that's good. Easily accessible. So first of all, I mean, it's what, March 5th today, and yesterday was 70 degrees and sunny. Today's going to be 70 degrees and sunny until like 4 o'clock, and then the rain kicks in. I mean, what does that do for you to kind of get the blood flowing and want to get out there and get your thing going?
Yeah, well, actually, yesterday was my kickoff. Started doing cleanups yesterday to get going with this beautiful weather. But other than that, I mean, we've been gearing up, trying to get ready for the season. You're going through equipment, everything like that. As soon as these warm days hit, you just want to get out there and start getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure the phone's been ringing off the hook, right? People's yards and their flower beds and everything are kind of out of mind until all of a sudden we have beautiful weather. So hopefully that phone's ringing off the hook.
Absolutely, yeah. As soon as this weather hits like this, everybody's thinking, "Well, no snow. We got to
Yeah.
start thinking spring."
Yep. Yep. Good. Good. That's good for business. That's for sure. And the winters that we've been having the last couple of years, knock on wood, I think I've had to shovel maybe 3 times each winter, which has been
Yep.
fantastic. And I'm sure it kind of elongates your season, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I mean, we run all the way. Some years are middle of December-ish. By the time you finally get done doing all the fall cleanups and stuff, but then other seasons, ends a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
This year, I mean, we're starting a lot sooner than expected. Normally, kind of wait till April 1st, give or take, to kind of get going. But this year, they were definitely starting a lot sooner.
Yeah. If people want it March 5th, then people get it March 5th, right?
That's exactly it.
So what I kind of want to do is, I like to have people on that have, interesting backgrounds that are kind of doing fantastic work, positive people. So what I want to kind of do is I'll kind of walk through some things and kind of lead people down the path. So what I kind of want to start with is, so growing up, where did you grow up? Kind of what were your interests, your hobbies and everything when you were young? How did you start off?
Okay, so I grew up in Parma, just small, quiet neighborhood, couple streets over from my grandparents. Basically, always played outside, rode bikes, baseball team, just average kid things. Was always outdoors doing something.
Hmm.
Never really, sat behind TV. Never really got into being indoors or doing anything like that. So I was an outside kid, 24/7. With that being said, kind of grew up watching my grandparents. My grandpa and my dad actually had a landscape company. Uh, my grandpa had it for probably 30 years, up until a few years back, until he passed away. My dad actually ran the company side with him. And so I kind of grew up and watched it my entire life. Um, and then just kind of went from there, went into uh, getting a little bit older as growing up. I actually got into working on small equipment and things of that aspect, as far as small engines, snow blowers, lawnmowers, tractors, rototillers, the whole works. And we kind of, as kids, always piddled around with tearing something apart, trying to put it back together.
Yeah.
Not everything went back together the same way you
Right.
took it
It
apart.
all came apart. That was the easy part, but putting it back together is the challenging part, right?
That's exactly it. So,
Yeah.
growing up, I mean, we always did something, whether it was my brothers and I or just my brothers. I always watched them, build things out of nothing. transformed something into something
Mhm.
out of nothing. We used to ride our bikes around town 24/7. Then we actually moved to Medina. My grandpa still had a business out in Parma, so every day of the week, my dad would drive to Parma, go do landscaping.
Mhm.
So we would take our bikes with us. We'd ride around town while my dad and
Yeah, that's
grandpa were
nice.
out cutting grass and stuff. And then every once in a while, you'd run past them, see them cutting, watching the works of, man, this yard looked like this, and now it's transformed into something nice.
Mhm.
And periodically would start to work with them, here and there, not too crazy, but watched them as it would go. So then I actually met my wife when I was 12,
Mhm.
and now 20 years later, we're still together.
Good.
With
Congratulations.
Well,
That's that's
appreciate
that's
that.
kind of unheard of in today's world. It's
Yeah,
like breakups are as common as getting together, and so congratulations. That's something to be heard of.
I appreciate that. And now we have three beautiful girls, all growing up way too fast.
Yeah.
And so right after I met my wife and stuff, when I turned 18, a job opportunity actually came about to work at a lawnmower shop.
Hmm.
So then I started, and that's what got me into working on small engines and stuff like that. And they kind of sent me to different schools, update classes, things like that to teach me it. Me going into it, I didn't know very much, just besides how to take things apart and try to put
Yeah.
them back together.
Yeah.
And he kind of taught me the works of what I needed to know how to do it. Became a head mechanic there. Worked there for about 14 years, up until recently. 2020 is when I actually quit and took the leap of starting my own company.
Yeah.
And
It's the timing is almost impeccable. 2020 brought on a lot of changes for a lot of people, right? It was people that were in offices all of a sudden were at home and things like that. And it was what you can't go within 6 feet of people. Everyone was all masked up, and you go to the grocery store and you just shoot lasers out of your eyes at everybody. Like everybody, nobody liked anybody. It was like it's like are you going to put together a survival kit and go live in the middle of the woods, or
true.
it's like it was transformational, really. In the industry that I'm in, um with originating mortgages, it was probably the biggest year in the last 20 years. Rates dropped way down. You got purchases picking up, you had refinances picking up, and everything like that. But there was a lot of businesses that were put out. If you were a small restaurant or things like that, if you did some sort of like massage or nails or whatever like that, a lot of those are small business owners, and a lot of them got to the point where because of the health and safety concerns and regulations that were put in place, they were kind of forced to shut down or
Yep.
forced to completely change the business. And you took it upon yourself to use that point of time, and what, be like, what, I saw my grandfather do this when I was younger. I saw my dad take this business over. I have my 15 years as a mechanic, head mechanic. Now I'm going to start off and do my own thing. Like, what were the conversations like with you and your wife? Like, I'm gonna leave this steady job that I'm good at, that I'm the head guy, that I've been doing it for a while. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go start my own thing. Like, how did those conversations go?
Honestly, it was very scary.
Yeah.
Uh, going with the entire thing, like you didn't know what you were gonna expect, whether it was, going from a paycheck to paycheck and then being able to, wow, now I'm gonna go in and try and make my own money, find my own customers, find my own, base and a starting point. So we had a lot of different conversations of the
Hmm.
pros, the cons. I've talked to a lot of different people even before we even thought about starting our own business, and worked with different companies also. I had a bunch of friends that had different landscape companies growing up also and stuff.
Hmm.
So I kind of seen how it would go, but then I also saw the other side where how some companies it didn't work out.
Hmm.
And then, like with 2020 all happening and COVID and everything like that, with watching a lot of shutdowns and things, I wasn't expecting for COVID to happen and stuff in the same year that we were planning on starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of hit us at a different point, like, okay, now, well, I already quit my job. Now COVID just happened. We're in that point of I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't turn around and look back, from that day now going forward, I have a lot more family time
Hmm.
and I could stop what I'm doing if I have to be able to go to a soccer event or, something for the school or, whatever the case is. I have more availability essentially because now I'm my own boss.
Yep. Yep. And that's amazing, and that's what a lot of times gets lost in the stress and everything of owning your own business is the fact that you get some flexibility. And you are a tremendous family man, and I know that you have mentioned that you knew some people with landscaping companies that some of them went well and some of them didn't. And I'm sure that some of that is due to, scalability. They try to grow too fast or they see some money coming in and they want to just, okay, let me get another crew, let me get two crews. And then you start having to juggle employees and, inconsistent attendance, and you're having to break appointments and things like that. But your desire is not that. You would like to keep it a small family business, so that you continue to have your time with your family. Kind of explain a little bit about what goes into that.
Yeah, so being small is what I want to keep it as, and
Hmm.
especially watching my dad and my grandpa. They were always being a small company, never doing more than what they couldn't handle.
Hmm.
And that's where it led into they tried to veer into having employees and things like that long, long time ago.
Hmm.
And it's not for everybody.
Hmm.
Um, I personally like having the hands-on experience of me being on every job and seeing how it started out and seeing how it ended,
Hmm.
along with being a little bit more personal with the customer or the homeowner as the whole process goes on.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't really want to get into employees. Maybe down the road, I'll change my mind. I'll say it now, but in 10 years from now, I might have a full crew and have a big company.
Yeah.
But
Or a
I
blown out
just
back, one or the other, right?
well that
Yeah.
yeah, and don't get me wrong, it is definitely hard on the body and
Yeah.
things like that, but it's definitely worth it in
Yep.
the end, to be able to make every house a different uh design or different take on it. So every job you're going in is a different job. Not everyone's the same. This one you might be putting in mulch, that one you might be putting in stone.
Yep.
But in the end, as long as the customer is happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thriving for is trying to, put it where they want
Yeah.
and give them what they want.
Yep. And obviously you do a great job. I think that that we've been working together now. You've been doing this for 4 years over here. And it's like and that's what I liked about you. Very personal touch. And like it was, you come up the door, I know who's doing the job. You're done, you come up, you don't never shake hands because your hands are always black from the mulch and everything like that.
Yep.
But it's I know who's doing it. I know it's going to get done. I know it's going to get done well, and I know that if I need something, there needs to be some follow up. I know how to get a hold of you, and you always answer the phone.
Yep.
So, that personal touch that you keep, and that's very important to you. It's amazing. Now, you know, the wear and tear on your body is unavoidable, right? When you're doing this. Are one of your three daughters going to step up and take over dad's business at some point, or
You
how?
know,
What's the transition going to be like?
I hope, or even if they don't take over the business, they see how hard I'm working for what I want to accomplish, that they might follow in those same footsteps.
Yep.
Whether it's with my business, a different business of their own, or something that, on the lines of getting out there working hard and making other people happy.
Yep.
I in hopes hope that they would like to take over the business.
Yeah.
Uh, I got two daughters that love to get dirty. One, she doesn't like to get too dirty, but she still likes to get out there and get working.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm hoping that they'll get a little bit more into it the older that they get and they
Hmm.
start, getting on liking go to work with me, getting their hands dirty, seeing the transformations from what it was to what it is now. Because I know they enjoy drawing and stuff like that also, so they already see man, I started with a blank canvas and now I have an awesome drawing in that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's fantastic. And I think that I didn't really have an endpoint, but I think that's a good point. I think that just being able to be that person that is there at the soccer events, at the school dances, at the talent shows, at the whatever it might be at the school, while you're also running your business, I think that is a tremendous thing that you can raise your daughters on, have them look up to you. You're setting a fantastic example. You're a great guy. You do great work, and I appreciate you coming on today. And I hope that the spring and the summer and everything goes well for you. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And anything that you want to end with?
Well, I appreciate you having me on also. I do just want to go over a couple services that we do offer
Absolutely.
real quick. So I do offer mulching cleanups, spring and fall cleanups, aeration, mowing, and then I get into small engine repairs. So repairing anybody's snow blowers, lawnmowers, tractors, things like that.
Yep.
And I do get into just general handyman services. But I try to help out everybody where I can. And if I can't, I try to lead them to somebody who can
Right.
do their
Right. Right. You're the guy that people call, right? If something goes on, you
Yep,
can come over and do it. And if you can't figure it out, then you can find someone that can. So
absolutely.
that's great. And if it's the people that want to have somebody do it for them, you're there for them. If it's somebody that needs their mower tuned up or whatever to get going so they can do it themselves, then you can help them out with that too. So
Absolutely.
good. Good.
Yep.
So
And that season's already started with fixing the lawnmowers and stuff. And can't keep up on it as much as I want to. I mean, I'm going pretty good right now with them.
that's a good problem to have. That's a good
Yeah,
problem to have.
everybody's wanting to start cutting the grass now.
Yep. I'll be honest with you. If it was going to be like this weekend, I would have a hard time not firing the mower up and running out there running over the grass.
Absolutely.
It's just like some kind of like peace and serenity that when you're out there mowing the grass for an hour and then you shut the thing off and you look at your grass and it looks good, like it just gives you like a sense of accomplishment and everything like that.
Yep.
And it's a great feeling. And that's why I think I love spring and summer and fall so much. It's
Yep.
you set aside a day on the weekend or whatever to do it, and you do it, and you might up this or that while you're doing it, but then you're done, and it's just like, wow, it feels great.
Well, I look at it, it's a good spot to clear your mind. When you're just riding the mower, you're zoned into doing what you want to do.
Yep.
And it just, I don't know, it's a whole different world of getting out there and thinking. It's just like going and hopping on a motorcycle. You feel the wind in your hair, you're just kind of cruising along in your own world, and it's just relaxes you.
Yeah,
And
takes you to your happy
that's
place.
that's exactly what mowing is.
Yep.
Is your happy place.
Yep. Well, good. Well, Jordan, again, I appreciate you being on. Go ahead and get out there and serve the people,
Will
and
do.
we'll see you in a couple months.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, Jordan, appreciate it.
All right. Yep, have
Have
a
a
good
good
one.
one.